Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Keiki Lies here. Today we're going to be doing a video on how to build a snowman in Blender. So, we're going to be making this snowman right here today. Or something similar. We're going to be making one of these. So let's get into it. So if you don't have Blender installed, I will send a link in the description to download it. You don't have to have any specific settings for it or anything. So let's get right into it. Once you have your Blender installed or whatever, click Blender. It should start up looking like this. This might be different depending on when you're doing it or what version of it you have. That's fine, it doesn't matter. You're going to want to left click right out of that window and you'll see a cube. Now we don't really need this cube at the moment, so we can just press the delete key and then click and it's gone. So now that we have a nice empty plane here, we can start building the snowman. So you're going to want to go down to the you're going to want to go to mesh, you're going to want to add 1, 2, and 3 different isospheres. And you're going to want to just move them up a little bit, make sure this one is above ground at least a little bit. And you want to have them stacked. This is actually pretty good. Press the S key, and that will open up into a size menu, and you just drag your mouse. You're going to want to have this one smaller, and this one smaller than that one. And you have a basic snowman. You probably want them a little bit more inside each other, and that's the basic shape of a snowman. But we want to go a little bit farther, add some eyes, a nose, and a hat. So for the eyes, we're going to be using another isosphere. We're going to move it up here, but this time we're going to make it tiny, itsy bitsy. Way smaller than that, like that big. We're going to make it that big. Believe there's a keyboard shortcut, or the keyboard shortcut is Shift D, but if you look in the transform/edit menu, you'll see it there anyway. So if you press Shift D while having the circle selected, it'll duplicate this and it'll bring it so you can like drag it. So you can just drag it right here, and now you have a second eye. Now you're gonna wanna also place it somewhere that's nicer, but for right now that's fine. What's last we need to do is add the, well, not last, second to last, we're gonna add the nose. So we're gonna add the cylinder here. We're gonna change the vertices to 8, and we're gonna change 90, and depending on where you put the face is where you want to put the 90 degrees. So because our face is right here, that would be -90 on the y-axis. You can play around with those little ones if it doesn't work out, or you can do R to rotate, but since I think it looks fine right where it is, we can just move the cone forward, press S to size it again, press S to size it again, and that looks pretty good and small. Again, put it right there, and it kind of looks a little weird, so we're gonna go drag it back out. We're gonna press S to size, then we're gonna press either X. We're gonna use X, so we can just stretch it out a little bit, and then we can size it back down again, and now we have a carrot S shape. You can go in more detail if you want to, but that's just the basic shape for a carrot. And we can just have the nose right there. Maybe make the Z a little bit thicker, and maybe the Y. There you go. Now we're gonna want to position it kind of in the middle of the face. It is the nose, so just put it right there. And now we have most of the face done. So that's good. Next, we're gonna make the hat. Okay, so you're gonna go back down to add meshes, but you're gonna add a torus this time. Don't click anything yet, because we're gonna change the minor segments to 8. And we're gonna change the major segments to 8 and the minor segments to 8. And then we're gonna want to change the position to 0, 0, 0. And now you can drag it up to the top of your snowman and make it fit around his head. Like that. There you go. Now you have the kind of brim, the somewhat brim of the snowman's hat. And now we're going to use a cylinder for the rest of it. But we're going to change its vertices also to 8. And then this to 0, and this to 0, and this to 0. That's just to have everything start in the origin, which is a lot helpful when you're moving stuff around, because we can just drag this up, size it, and if we look, it fits perfectly inside the hat. And now our snowman is looking pretty good. Pretty good. So next is we want a little bit of color. He's a little bland, just, you know, gray and white. So let's add some color. Now look over in this section over here. If you do not see, well, I don't see it right now, so I'm going to drag this out. Look for this. If you don't see it, drag this out. And since we just made the cylinder, it should be the one that's selected, which is fine. Click New. It'll open up this materials editor thing. We only need to really change the diffuse, and we want it to be a decent black. So right there looks good. So now we have the hat is black, and the top of it is at least is black, which is nice. So next you're gonna want to right click on the brim of the hat, and since we already made the material for the hat, we can reuse it by clicking this and clicking that. And now we have a nice black hat. Okay. So next we want to change the eye colors, and you normally use coal in the eyes, so we can use the same color, but I think it's better to just add a new one and make it slightly like a grayish kinda, because I feel like coal is more gray than black. And then just repeat the steps to change the color of the eyes. You're gonna want to change the nose to a nice carrot looking color, and now you have a snowman that is colored, has eyes, and a nose. An optional step you can add is adding buttons to right here, which we will do. I kind of like just shifting the eyes, putting that there. And until they're all highlighted, press Control P, Object. Now if you just shift onto one of them, a single point like this big midsection makes the entire thing move, and that's what we want, because then we can move our snowman later. It'll change which one is the parent depending on which one, when you're highlighting them like this, which one is not the deep orange. That'll be the parent, so I made that one the parent specifically. It's probably best to make the whatever one you don't ever have to move. Like this button right here kind of looks a little big to me, so if I move it back a little bit more, it won't seem as big, and it doesn't move the whole thing, because this is the only parent. Now here's a special thing I like to do, and that's why I told you not to parent the hat. If we just shift and shift that, and we're not going to parent this yet, but if we just have the hat like that and press size and make it just a little bit smaller, and then press the R key to rotate it, and we just make it fit a little bit better. Now we have a snowman with a tiny top hat. I just like the look of it a little bit. You can always have it with the big top hat, it doesn't matter. But I like the little top hat. I think it looks a little bit better. And now that we got that, we can shift all of these, click. I'm doing the middle section again with my parent, and then shift P again, object, and it'll make the middle person here the parent of the whole thing. And you can position your snowman wherever you want. In the next video, we will talk about how to make a tree. But for right now, that is how to make a snowman in Blender. I will see you guys next time.